Our planet is receiving an upgrade from denser physical energies of the illusions we've lived in to higher frequencies of oneness, consciousness, no thing, no body, nowhere, and in no time. Humanity is also being assisted to shift from lower frequencies of fear, survival mode, into higher frequencies of light, love, and sovereignty. We can have a new way of being, a new way of thinking, and a new way of living as our conceptual mind transforms to alertness and our physical carbon-based body upgrades to a crystalline light body. We can become new beings on a new earth as we elevate our vibrational frequency, contributing to a new earth as we exude care, compassion, collaboration, cooperation instead of crime, competition, conflict, and corruption. We are right now in an exciting time as planetary upgrade transforms the earth and the sun to assist our transformation back to light. It's this humanity transformation on a personal level and on a collective level of our mind and body means that there is an activation of light energy with powerful gateways changing humanity. It is changing our personal lives. It is changing our priorities. It is changing ways of how we see a wider perspective of the challenges that we meet and face on this planet. We can feel this activation in our bodies as essential erotic energy, as there is a joining of the cosmic and the physical earth. All humanity is stepping into the realm of light beings. The central sun and all the light beings network are holding feminine energies of caring oneness that emits a higher frequency onto the earth plane that's been living in masculine hierarchical systems. Humanity, therefore, is moving towards the realm of pure play, where we get to play on a new level of higher perspectives. All this could be happening to us without us understanding what's going on, but we can prepare for this upgrade. We can prepare and be able to have an upgrade onto an energetic level of our thoughts and emotions and not be left behind. Our bodies and minds have a physical earth consciousness. However, our higher self is moving us out of our density into oneness and guiding us into higher dimensions to have a liberated mind in alertness and a light body. So when we look at slide 2, we can read all this together. Are we ready to be part of this planetary and human upgrade? A new human and a new earth is possible. A new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and this personal ascension journey of going back to light is for all of us. As we raise our vibration, we are raising the vibration of the planet Earth. And we are changing the challenging story we've been going through. When we remember ourselves as that God self, as that co-creator, that innate part of who we truly are, that's where we're heading to. And we are on a complex level of sharing, caring, and flowing. That's where we are going. That sense of non-self-centeredness, where we are enough and where we will be having enough. And it has to do with the energy of our heart. As we share units of energy with each other and receive back this energy that we share with everybody and all people, more of it will come in. That infinite amount from the light network support. Not have to be counting every penny, and this is freedom. Now let us listen to this poem as we let the words of these words wash over our entire body. A new earth breathed into a new creation by a new human mind birthed out of inner stability, unshaken by the stillness within, unwavered by past disappointments and future anxieties, deeply rooted in the present moment of the now, where past and future occur simultaneously in the here and now. That serene, that quiet alpha brainwave moment that is unadulterated by the chaos in the outer world, where synchronicity, serendipity, coherence of heart and brain, equanimity, alertness of mind keep us in flow and in tune with our true essence, where we are whole, where we are complete, where we are worthy and deserving. That state of peace, tranquility, serenity, calmness, quietude, harmony, love, joy, gratitude, and abundance. That brain state that floods the entire mind and body with happiness neurotransmitters, restructuring our skin fascia membrane to become permeable to receive photons of light that are streaming down onto earth and into humanity to upgrade and enable evolution of consciousness. That upgrade that is restructuring and enables our bodies to become channels, to become transmitters, to become transformers, for us to ooze and emit out into the world who we already are, who we have recovered and become, transmitting oneness, transmitting compassion, transmitting care, collaboration, cooperation, purity of intention and love that are to replace crime, corruption, competition, self-interest, concern, war, conflict, and fear. The human mind is easily impressionable, easily suggestible, and vulnerable. And it either drives us to self-destruction, creating dualities, contrasts, opposites, divisions and separations, and various illusions of physicality. Or it awakens us into alertness, into freedom of mind, that oneness that is long lost to the human mind. And yet this oneness and connection to source has been retained by the rest of creation, by nature, trees, water bodies, animal communities, stones, and the earth. So when we choose to relate to nature in a different way, nature gives us back something. That energy of connectedness with source that the tree still is in comes back to the tree, and it helps us to feel that connectedness, and we are also helping the tree because it is a reciprocal process. It gives us that connectedness with source that nature never lost, and it transmits itself to us. This nature connects us with itself and source, and we connect with it. How do we return back to oneness? How do we train our mind to hook into who we already are? Remaining with the dense, low vibrational frequency attitude blocks our skin fascia membrane, making it resistant to receiving these photons, refracting the light photons as humanity and Earth get an upgrade. Will we be left behind? Will we not be part of evolution to see phenomena from a higher perspective? I hope these words have washed over every entire being of you so that you can be ready to listen to what we have to talk about today. A new earth can be rebuilt with a new liberated mind. As transmitters, our bodies, we emit into our energy field and into the cosmos what we have in our mental and mind faculties. Every moment, with every breath we take, depending on what we consecrate our life force with, that belief, that intention, those thoughts and words and emotions and choices and actions, we are either adding to the light of the world by focusing on the positive and wonderful perspectives of what we go through, however challenging it is, or we are adding to the dark shadow of the world through the negativity, through judging the situation, and through saying, no, it can't be like this. So, the medium through which we transmit what comes from us as our outgoing mail is water. Water is a conductor of vibration and energy, and it absorbs any other substance into it and becomes it. Our bodies are more than 70% water. We are water beings. The planet on which we live inhabits 70% of water. So we live on a water planet. Water on the planet and the crystalline fluids in our cells connect all of us together and all things together. How do we program this water? How do we program our energies? Of all things that we value, the mind is a precious treasure. How do we ensure to look after it very well? Because it is easily tricked into happiness or sadness, and it has the power to deceive us. And it is full of torture, full of fear, full of loss and grief. And as long as we take our deluded thoughts as real, they continue to torment us mercilessly. We end up tormenting ourselves with our mind because sorrow, pain, and suffering are burning in the mind. So fear-based consciousness of human ego clogs the pure light force in a heavy discordant frequency. And it manifests as corruption, it manifests as crime, it manifests as competition, disease, war, division, lack, and the weather conditions that we are having on planet now. So these negative things that are occurring in our lives are accumulated by mass consciousness of humanity. Our human evolution, therefore, as individuals, is the core of living transformation. As more of us evolve into a new human, we will create a new earth. And it is never too late for the brain to evolve, because neuroscience documents the plasticity of our brains. And psychology, spirituality, and body therapies give tools with which to evolve in consciousness, live in our bodies, and connect with spirit. Evolving ourselves requires doing the inner work on our psyche. Are we willing to do the work? Eastern and Western approaches to psychology say that we are whole when we are consciously connected to our unconditioned self, instead of the conditioned egoic self. A new earth can truly be rebuilt with a liberated mind. We lose our conscious connection with the unconditioned self and stay in the egoic self most of the time when we are acting out of fear. The unconditioned self is formless energy. It is our inborn, inherent, and learned wisdom. The stronger our conscious connection to the unconditioned self, the more we receive inspiration, intuition, revelation, and see opportunities and possibilities. that every challenge is a gift to learn from, and every challenge carries happiness within it. We can see the bigger picture instead of living out of fear. The true self helps us to know our intrinsic goodness, and tells us we live in a safe and supportive universe, despite what is going on in the world. The conditioned self, however, is who we think we are. It's our personal learned self, that which we have inherited from our collective human experience, and it informs our view of ourselves and the world. The more we are grounded in our unconditioned self, the stronger our foundation to hold the learned beliefs, feelings, bodily sensations, automatic behaviors of our conditioned self can consciously disappear. We are able to access our insights and wisdom and be in the present moment. We can open the door, disidentify with the learned feelings and thoughts and behaviors that keep us small and limited. Our wholeness and this paradigm shift create the scaffolding for the new human to emerge. Understanding this shift into wholeness gives us a second chance. The new human is not something we have to create. We already are it. So our wholeness and our consciousness help us draw forth inherent qualities of our being, and these include our love without conditions, forgiveness, our vulnerability, our open-heartedness, our acceptance, our living in the unknown, our willingness to take risks, and to become complete, deserving, and worthy. As the new human, we feel deeply that we are part of a system, that interconnected web of life. This new earth, therefore, arises as more people discover that their main purpose in life is to bring the light consciousness into the world and use whatever we do as the vehicle for consciousness. New consciousness right now as we speak is beginning to emerge on this planet. An increasing number of people are embracing the awakening process voluntarily, even while still engaged in outward cycles of growth. We are getting to a point where the ego is going to get subdued. And in order to do this, we need to understand that we are light and we are the embodiment of light. Light is information. Light is organized intelligence. And light is awareness. It is an astounding pure energy. Light is part of a larger neurological network. We are tiny neuron nodes of a much bigger, a much larger neurological network, and what the great brain, the great mind thinks. So our journey as spiritual aspirants is to return back to light and light speed, and to grow to deeper levels of who we are as consciousness. Our matter body will not always be slower than light. At one time, we are going to develop a lighter body, and we will be able to live and experience other dimensions of being and living and thinking. Right now, as we speak, there is so much support coming to us from a coherent light family. The sun, the stars are our true family. A coherent light family that helps us transform back into pure light beings. They listen, they care, they know everything going on in every cell of our body, and they are constantly showering us with light. to help heal and transform and rebalance us in a profound way. The sun, stars, those balls of plasma are not strangers to who we are. They are us in the future. They are a much wiser, more advanced version of us. We are individual packets of light. We become the sun and stars, and all light everywhere is us. We get to higher levels where there is no distinction, where there is no division, where there is connectedness. All light is totally connected. And this is what we are heading towards. That version of us that helps us learn more about cleaning our organs, recharging our vitality and longevity. And all these ideas come to us and from the sun and stars that are nourishing and guiding us and give us idea on how to get back to light. And this relates to our personal and planetary ascension. There is a divine consciousness unfolding around us all the time. Light is on its journey through various transformations through physical existence, and this pure light energy radiates to us from these suns and stars. We receive light from the sun, and it is in multiple places at the same time, and it is the doorway to infinity where light comes from. We are suns ourselves, and we have this infinity point within us. And that place within us is somewhere at the top of our spine, where the skull sits, behind the eyes and the soft palate, deep within the brain. That miniature sun within us is a microcosm of the enormous sun plasma being up that we see in the sky. When we talk of planetary ascension, therefore, that sun star within us becomes a source of information, a source of intelligence, a source of guidance, and sun gazing at sunrise and sunset is where information is coming to us. We are connecting more with that light. We are awakening the sun within us, and we are also moving into a place where we are embodying light. What does that mean? Light comes to us from the sun and stars through light photon. And there are two types of light. There is the photon from the sun and star, and there is also the infrared that is another type of light. So, this particle of light, known as the photon, travels endlessly on its journey until it hits our retina in the eye. And this retina in the eye slows it down. And it isn't light speed anymore. It becomes an electrical neurological impulse. And it goes to the optical lobe so that we see color. So there is a miracle happening in our lives, in our eyes, in our retina at all times when light transforms and changes. And our body and eyes have to receive that sun's photon, that UVA, that infrared warm light, in order for us to be able to tell the retinas that it is time to regenerate our cones and rods. And why is all this happening? Because it is from this retina that this light is going to go into every part of our body to recharge us for longevity and to recharge us for having vitality and having health. Now, as we look at what is happening in the world right now, are we able to feel that there is some shift that is happening within ourselves? Are we having that ability to be able to see what we are going through? All these world traumas, the earthquakes in Turkey, the war, and all those phenomena that get us to shake in fear. It is at that moment when we are going through the challenges, when we are able to sit still and connect to our center, that's when we have the opportunity for these great creator beings to come into our energy field and be with us and help us to be able to look at what we are going through from a higher perspective. Because everything that is happening in the world right now is, and if we are able to get out of our physical consciousness and look at the bigger picture, we could be able to see what it means for all these things that we are going through. We might call it war. We might think it is the earthquaking. We might think it is the tsunamis that are going on. However, when we get to see the bigger picture, we will understand that those people that are dying, bless their souls, everything is happening for a particular reason. We are upgrading. We are getting out of crime and confusion into care and compassionate. And care and compassionate is what is being rebirthed out of all this that is happening. We are transforming into humans who can think differently, who can have compassion for each other, who can be able to contribute for the cause of all humans. When we look at what is happening right now, we are able to describe what a new being, a new human is and a new earth is. We are on slide that has the content. We'll be looking at the new human in a new earth, why we explore evolution of consciousness, how to use new earth light to transform our pain, and what it means for conceptual thinking and being alert instead of just existing. So what is this new human? This new human is both human and divine, and more awakened and a conscious being. And this new human recognizes the interconnectedness of everything and is on the path of evolution of consciousness and realizes that we are more than physical body. This new human has a greater awareness of spirit, soul energy, and soul. This new human has a greater awareness of spirit and has done the inner work and holds a higher vibrational frequency. This new human is plugged into source and is connected to source and has stepped into their soul purpose and higher self-identity. This new human already is in the new paradigm of shifting consciousness. And what is this new earth? This new earth is a kinder, heart-centered world where we care for one another, where separation and discord dwindle, and care and compassion help us to thrive. This new earth can exist with a kinder, more compassionate humanity. We are occupying in our reactions. If we feel stressed, if we feel anxious and angry and fearful, then we are in the 3D space. However, if we feel relaxed and content and creative and joyful and peaceful, then we are in the 5D state. So this new earth is composed of a new breed of humans who are more in touch with their soul identity, who are more emotionally balanced and have that attitude of care and compassion and that sense of striving. So why do we explore evolution of consciousness? Evolution of consciousness is a rapid elevation of planetary and human consciousness. It is a different perception, a different way of seeing worldly chaos. It is new ways of thinking, new ways of living, and new ways of being. It is to step into our true purpose and really our identity of who we really are. It is a new era of love and light. Why are we having cautious exploration? It heals the body, it heals the mind, and it heals any spiritual issues that we might be facing. We came into this physical body as golden spiral of light with a sole purpose to fulfill. New Earth timeline and how to get into it. We have to get into it by changing our perceptions and being able to see what is happening in the world from a higher perspective, seeing whatever challenges we are going through with the eyes of the divine, to be able to realize what is happening to us without judging it as this shouldn't be. And that makes us able to stabilize our inner 5D plane within us so that we can be able to get out of survival mode and get into consciousness thriving mode. How do we use New Earth Light to transform our pain? We are on slide 28. Light dissolves the shadows. As each one of us is emitting light into the field, and this minimizes the dark presence that has been controlling the Earth planet and flooding it with what we are seeing right now. We are in a global healing crisis where it feels uncomfortable with all our junk out there, and we can't hide from it. All our ugliness is out there for everyone to see and deal with. Instead of passing it or splitting from it or stuffing it in the closet, we need to flood it with love and light that will transmute it quickly. And this turmoil and trauma of this pandemic implies the need for a solution to human life to shift from chaos and suffering. We are able to see things from a higher perspective, and we are able to accomplish much more if we get out of the self-centered separation, corruption, war, self-centered crime and competition, and get into compassion, care, and collaboration. When we get to slide 31, we will be looking at how we can change from conceptual thinking to be able to have alertness of mind. Humanity is at a critical stage right now. There is a possibility of a shift into the deeper states of higher state being, where we can be able to get into alertness instead of staying in the place where the mind will dictate to us what we have to be. When we get to slide 34, it gives us a summary of the difference between conceptual thought and alertness and attentiveness. Conceptual thinking consists of body existence. It consists of form. We are in the illusions of calendar and seasons of time. We are on slide 34, 33. It is that place where we are judging situations where we are in separation and our mind is tricking us into dualities, contrast, and separation. But when we get into alertness being, we are getting to that dimension of the fifth plane where there is nothing, no judgment, nobody. We are in oneness, in effortlessness, and we are everything, and everything is us. We don't have to strive to get to anything. We are in the plane. We are tapping into the higher resources, and no matter what we are going through, it's not going to drive us into fear, to get us clinging to survival. We are meant to be able to go beyond survival mode consciousness into thriving mode. What needs to transform? We need to let go of identification with form, dogma, rigid belief systems. 2, most of us are so distracted by our thoughts, so identified with the voices in our heads. This needs to change. The third thing that needs to change is the density of the ego and the dysfunctional relationship with the present moment. Most of us are torn away. We are always thinking about the disappointments of the past and into the anxieties of the future, and we don't allow the future and the past to occur simultaneously in the present moment. The fourth thing that needs to change and to transform is not identifying with our roles, our name, and our title. We are more than that. The fifth thing that needs to change is not identifying with the suffering of the body and the pain. We feel pain, we suffer because we have to play the game of the physical, solid, visible world. But we are more than that. The sixth thing that needs to change, we need to get out of survival mode into thrival mode. And seventh, we need to identify not with the season and calendar time, but with that timelessness of the fifth dimensional realm. And we need to understand, number 8, that separation, duality, and contrast and opposite are created by the conceptual mind. Number 9, we are obsessed with controlling the outcome instead of surrendering and having a non-attachment attitude to things. Number 10, we need to transform the torment of being torn between past and future. We are able to stay in the present moment if we practice to be rooted and grounded. Number 11, what needs to transform is fear of the unknown. We need to get to a point where we can begin being comfortable with the unknown, because it is that moment in time when we are comfortable with the unknown that we transcend into that pure play. 12, what needs to transform is accepting change as a factor of life. The more we resist, the more we get into staying in survival. The 13th thing that needs to change is to get out of the head and get into the mind. The 14th thing that get out of the head and get into the heart. The 14th thing that needs to change is transforming negative emotions that keeps us in the dense vibration of frequency and work in order to purify our bioenergy field. To be able to lift that fear, that doubt, that negativity, that rejection, that frustration, that agitation, and that worry. Once we've been of all the things that we've looked at here, we will be able to get onto the path of ascending into light beings and becoming who we are meant to become. Together, we will be able to raise the earth vibration of frequency and bringing about a new time of space and harmony. At this very moment, we are in the midst of a very transformative circle of heightened light. Are we willing to be part of this transformation? Are we willing to adjust to the new energies that we are experiencing? There is something that I have put together that can help us to purify our heart and open the light body and be able to assemble this light body as we anchor into the fifth dimension. We are on slide 47, the last slide of activating our soul light body. And I will invite you to go through this together as we meditate on this practice and see how we can be able to be part of this transformative time that is happening on planet Earth now, so that we can be able to have a planetary ascension as we humans are also aspirants on this journey of transformation. There is a new physiology of the divine human as we move from a carbon-based body into a crystalline light body. When we are breathing in the pranic breath, that life force, that light, we are moving our energy with the deep breaths. We are tuning into the heart while taking awareness of our feet chakra like magnets, grounding us into the roots of light that are coming in from Mother Earth. We are getting present in our body, and we are moving from the conceptual mind as we focus into the feeling of the body, because the body is communicating something unique to us. And the body becomes the bridge for spirit source, light, and Mother Earth roots of light. We are connecting our soul presence, the I am presence, as we reunite, bringing a particular bond back together of our higher self, that is made of our signature light and sound waves, and we are connecting it to the ego self so that the ego self and our higher self can merge into one. And this is happening as the body becomes the bridge of our higher self and our egoic self. We are bringing our soul light waves in a big stream of soul light down through the crown chakra into all our other chakras. This is filling into the heart center with love, and light vibrates like a big solar sun that starburst within our heart. It is vibrating, it is pulsating our light into every cell of our body, into every cell of our mind, and into our auric field. Feel that light spreading into every part of your mind, into every part of your body, as it repels out any negative polarized charge. And as all that is getting cleared, it is getting transmuted back into light, into a pure crystal of light. And we are going to feel coherence in the body, coherence in the mind, and coherence in the heart. And there is going to be felt that coherence in the nervous system and the vagus nerve as we are creating new neurotransmitters, new receptor sites, new neural pathways, and this is affecting our genes, our proteins, and our tissues, and upgrading our health, not only health of the mind, but health of the body as well. Our body starts to open and to lighten, and our energy biofield begins to lighten too, to embrace those high frequency light waves. Our light body is getting developed, and this is an opportunity to heal anything that has separated us, not only from ourselves, but from others, from nature, and from source. This is an opportunity to heal past trauma, to heal any loss we have felt, loss of property, loss of status, loss of health, whatever loss it is. It is an opportunity to heal our lack, to heal suffering, to heal grief, and dissolve all that into light that is pouring through us. And as it is melting away all those past traumas. Our soul light is becoming more radiant. We are increasing our soul light radiance. We are increasing our inner light. We are increasing our galactic power, and we are increasing our inner empowerment. Our inner soul radiance is shining out into the world. And as that is happening, let each one of us speak it out and say, I am light. I am love. I am an embodiment of light. And as we let this light stream through and get into our aura and help strengthening and rebuilding our light body, let's gently come back into the room that we are in and share how this exercise has been. Thank you so much for listening. This is what we've been able to share today. Thank you, and thank you.